G'day, Josh here, up at 5:30 a.m. where I am to bring you all this early preview content of the Harvest promo. I'm very, very excited. I've had a look through, got an understanding of exactly how it works, and I'm going to walk through and show all of you my thoughts on it and everything you need to do to grind out all of the masters and the other players available as well. Before we get stuck into that, I do need to make clear that I am on an EA test server and this is not live content, so things are subject to change at this point in time. So not everything you see on the test server will necessarily make its way to the global version of the program. So thank you, EA, for giving me this early preview access on the test server so I can bring this content to everyone. For those of you that have been paying particular attention to this home screen, before we get stuck into the Harvest content, let's jump into sets. And yes, you do get a little sneak peek at the next flashback player, who is, of course, Iggy, back when he was on the Sixers. This is a quick look at his primary stats, and we'll also break down his secondary stats there. Pretty much all high 70s and low to mid 80s, so very solid all-around player, and the bump in overall as well. If you've also noticed, I've got a little bit of a croaky voice at the moment. I'm not sick, I just have been doing a little bit of yelling recently. So supporting at a local basketball game recently, so maybe got a little bit too aggressive with the shouting, but that's all right. My voice will recover shortly. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off Harvest content with the news here. Let's read through the Harvest news. So the Fall Harvest campaigns are now here. Recruit Tournament Master Steph Curry onto your team to win charity basketball tournaments across the US. Recruit Food Drive Masters Jason Tatum and Dikembe Mutombo by donating meals. Complete both campaigns to earn Harvest Master Tim Duncan. And you can see, of course, the artwork for both the charity basketball and food drive masters there: Jason Tatum, Steph Curry, and Dikembe Mutombo. And we will, of course, go in and have a look at their more detailed stats as well. And we're going to jump across to the Harvest sets. We're going to start here and we'll work our way backwards. So the ultimate master you can earn is this Tim Duncan, 90 overall, and he requires 3 of these philanthropic awards, I believe it is, if I wait for it to scroll across. Philanthropist awards, sorry, not philanthropic, philanthropist. So you need 3 philanthropist awards, and you, as far as I'm aware, you get those by completing each of the other 89 overall masters. So what that means is you don't actually need to put the 3 89 overall masters into this specific set to get the 90 overall master. You can keep all of your masters, which is fantastic. So when you complete Tatum, Curry, and Mutombo, you'll get them, as well as a philanthropist award. You chuck that philanthropist award, it's hard to say that multiple times, into this set to unlock that Tim Duncan, along with other Harvest Feast items that you grind from the campaign. So those elite tokens can be earned from this trading set here. So it just requires 4 of each of the gold food types, which is roasted turkey, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. Sounds like a pretty good Harvest meal. You turn that in for a feast token, an elite feast token, and then you use those feast tokens in both the Dikembe sets here, the Jason Tatum set here, and finally also in the Tim Duncan set here. So this program is all about the grind. You grind through the campaign, blitz events specifically, and get a whole ton of those gold tokens, trade them in for elite tokens, and that's how you complete those specific sets. If we also have a look at Curry, Curry's a little bit different. You will earn Curry from playing the first campaign challenge in the Curry specific campaign, and we'll go through and do a little bit of that with you as well. And then you earn yourself Turkey Blitz tokens here, and you're going to be using those Turkey Elite tokens and the different editions of the Curry cards to upgrade him to max, which of course is that 89 overall. And you also earn yourself Black Friday tokens along the way. So you can see in here, for the final claim, you turn in your 87 overall Tournament Master Curry and 20 tokens for 89 overall Tournament Master Curry, 50 Black Friday tokens and a Philanthropist Award. It's important to keep in mind that Black Friday is coming, and there's going to be a ton of sets that use those Black Friday tokens. So a whole lot of these sets will award those Black Friday tokens in varying amounts, which is fantastic. So not only while you're grinding Harvest are you getting the Harvest content, but you're also working your way towards Black Friday content. And then for those of you that don't necessarily want to grind for the high end or the Harvest Masters, the Feast Masters specifically, or the Food Drive Masters, I think they're called. Let's go ahead and have a look at exactly what they're called, so I'm getting that right. I think they're the Food Drive Masters. It said it in the news. I might just reference that real quick to make sure I got the terminology right. So they are the Food Drive Masters, that's correct. If you don't think you're going to be able to achieve those, you can always, or even if you've already got them and you've got extra stuff to use, you can come down here and you can unlock these Harvest Heroes. So these guys require Harvest Feast tokens and different gold food items as well. The varying amounts. Obviously the 86s are going to require a little bit more than the 83s. You can see that there. Now, while we are here in the sets, let's go through and just quickly show you the stats of some of these players before we jump across into the campaign content, show you what that looks like and play through a few of those events. So this is the Tim Duncan's primary stats. I'm going to be flying through this stuff pretty quickly, so I'm not actually going to spend too much time reading specific stats, but if you'd like, just pause the video and you can grab a screenshot or take some time to scan through the stats. So there's Tim Duncan. Let's now move across to Jason Tatum. I probably could have just used the previous button, but that's fine. There's his primary stats, and there is his secondary stats. And we will now move across back one more to Dikembe Mutombo. For those of you that were playing Season 1 of the game, this is definitely a throwback to the Harvest version of his card, which was awesome. I believe it was a 92 overall. The overall curve was a little bit different in Season 1 because it was a much longer season to this season. It started much earlier, I should say, than this season started. So overall, it ended up being longer. So there's the breakdown of his stats. Actually, we can't go previous because there's no more stats to see there. Now we'll get through. I'll show you. Let's start with the 87. So this is the 87 version of Curry's card. There's his primary stats. As I said, hit pause on this if you want to see if I'm flying through too quickly, but we've got a lot of stuff to get through, so I don't want to take up too much time on stats. And then if we look at the 89 overall version of his card, that is the breakdown there. My sore throat is definitely coming back to bite me, but I'm fighting through it so I can get this content out. And I did quickly skip through his primary stats, so I'll just view those again. Okay, and now what I'll also do is I'll just real quickly, before we jump into the campaign, I'll skip through each of these. So this is the 83, primary, secondary. Going to be super quick because we've got a lot of these to flick through. So yeah, as I said, any of these that you're interested in, just hit pause on that video. Definitely nothing wrong in that. That's Kenneth Fareed. Don't use him for three-point shooting. That is something that I will point out there. 41 three-point stat is not incredible. Joachim Noah. It'd be hilarious if they had his funky shooting animation in-game, but I doubt that they're going to spend time animating that for a player like Joachim Noah, so that's fine. Andrei Kirilenko. There's a look at his primary and secondary stats, and then we'll move on to the 86 overall heroes as well. We start with Wes Unseld. I love that Bullets jersey. Definitely looks like a throwback NBA jersey. Here's his secondary stats. And I love the fact that you get that little bit of information, the little information nugget, as I like to call it, about each player and how they're relevant to this program. So Deng received the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award in 2014. That's awesome. And we move across to Terry Porter, sorry. Try and pronounce that correctly. It's not that hard to pronounce. Here's a look at his secondary and his primary stats. And finally, the last hero. There might be more of these coming. I have no idea whether these are going to update throughout the program. I feel like there's going to be a whole chunk of extra players coming Black Friday, so I'm not necessarily sure that there'll be extra Harvest heroes, but that is obviously bound to change, especially now that I've sort of set it one way. It'll probably be the other way, but we will wait and see. But there is definitely a ton of players and content to work your way through in these Harvest sets, that is for sure. So now, without further ado, let's jump into the Harvest campaign. And I've got to say that the artwork is absolutely fire. I'm really, really impressed with how all of this looks. It looks fantastic. So this gives you an overview as I quickly pan around this campaign map here of what you need to do. So we'll read through each of these little instructions. Play Harvest Drive events and collect food items. Get a first win bonus each day. So I believe what that means, and it is a little bit hard to tell on the test server because times to expire on challenges or live events are not necessarily accurate, but I believe that means that these events will refresh each day. So make sure you get in here daily to get those first win bonuses. And then you use food items to create the Harvest Feast and recruit Harvest heroes in sets. And you can get Harvest heroes to recruit Harvest Drive Masters. Now, obviously that will change because you don't actually need Harvest Heroes to recruit Harvest Drive Masters. They also just use those Harvest Feast and Harvest Food Item tokens. So there are definitely a few little changes that are still bound to happen before it gets to global version or the release of the promo. So that's one of them there. As we saw in those sets, there are no gold or elite players required in those sets. So you don't have to worry about spending a bunch of coin to build those masters. It is all tokens. It's all grinding. So you create Harvest Feasts with food tokens to earn Harvest Heroes and Food Drive Masters. And as I touched on, earn Black Friday tokens by winning events and completing sets. Black Friday sets begin November 23rd. So that's exciting. And then obviously you use the tokens earned to unlock that Tim Duncan once you've unlocked each of the 89 overall editions, or masters I should say. So looks like you can possibly earn Black Friday tokens by playing through events as well. So let's jump in here and play each of these Blitz events and see exactly what it is that we get awarded with. And then we'll jump across to the Steph Curry version of the campaign, as I'm sure you're all very excited to see. I'm guessing he's going to be the most popular master, and he's definitely one that you can grind. Oh, I just have to say, look at these uniforms. Oh, this orange Harvest uniform looks fire. This is awesome. Let's hit that mid-range there with Alan. It reminds me of the Jazz City Edition uniform a little bit, but that looks fantastic. I really, really am enjoying that alternate uniform, that is for sure. Okay, so we earn ourselves a mashed potatoes token there, and we get ourselves the first win bonus, which is... Oh, there we go. So we get our Black Friday token. That's our very first Black Friday token used in Black Friday and Cyber Monday sets. There we go. So that is something to keep track of. It looks like they might be winnable in those first wins. Let's run through the next Blitz and confirm that if we can. Ray Allen. Love that uniform. Oh, the orange and black looks so good. Let's hit another mid-range. Now, of course, as this is test server... Oh, we missed it. As this is test server, these live events will not necessarily be exactly the same. They could be different. They might change daily. I don't know. We will have to wait and see for the release of the promo. Oh, Ray Allen, what are you doing, buddy? Why are you bricking wide open mid-range shots? Let's take this one all the way in to ensure that we don't miss again. We'll dunk it home. Two-hand throwdown for safety. There it is. So we get that one done after a couple of attempts, and we earn ourselves again. Looks like a pumpkin pie token this time around. So obviously you've got an event for each of the specific food items. So the ones that you need, you can grind through, which is awesome, which means it's not random luck based. You can actually, if you're short a pumpkin pie, you go and grind the pumpkin pie event. That's really, really handy. I know in the past it's been luck based and you always end up with one specific item that you're short, and it's really frustrating. So this way there is none of that. So that is great. We mistime that a little bit. All right, here we go. We're gonna go the throwdown for safety again. Two hands again, and we get that one done on the first attempt. Those uniforms though, so nice. earn ourselves a turkey and then another Black Friday token with that first win. And 2 more turkeys, of course. I really like the fact that while you're grinding through Harvest, you're also helping yourself with Black Friday. It's really, really good. Okay. The other way to get to the Steph Curry campaign actually is right here. You can click that and it'll take you across to the Steph Curry campaign. So here we go. Take your team and compete in a series of basketball tournaments across the country against celebrity lineups. Earn tournament winnings to upgrade tournament lineups and sets. And of course, to upgrade that Steph Curry from a 75 overall all the way up to an 89 overall. And it says here again, earn 20 tokens to upgrade Tournament Master Steph Curry and earn Black Friday tokens by winning events and completing sets. Black Friday sets begin November 23rd. Okay, let's jump into this now. You can see that there's a top line of tournaments and then there's a bottom line of blitz events. It's possible that some of these, like they might, each of the columns, so to speak, so each of the tournaments and blitzes below might unlock. Obviously you need to complete the previous set, but it also might be time-based. We'll have to wait and see for the promo. So it's possible that the Brooklyn tournament might not be available on day 1. I'm not entirely sure, but it is the Brooklyn Blitz event does seem to be the best to grind. It awards 2 to 6 tourney tokens plus your first win bonus, whereas the Seattle Pacific Blitz only awards 2 to 4 Blitz tokens plus your first win. So obviously getting through to that Brooklyn tournament, completing that and grinding the Brooklyn Blitz, it's hard to say Brooklyn Blitz, swapping those R's and L's out. That's going to be your priority for the Curry side of it, but let's play through the Seattle Pacific tournament. We are going to be matched up against the Eastern All-Stars here, and they're going to be wearing those Harvest uniforms, I would imagine. Let's have a look at what that looks like. They are wearing Harvest uniforms too. So there we can see the home and away version of the uniforms. They look fantastic in both color options, but I'm particularly a fan of the orange and black. But even the white, just the orange like stripe down the side looks really, really nice. Big fan of these uniforms. All right, let's get that block and possession. Here we go, Ray Allen. Kick that ball ahead. Come on, Murray. Hit that corner 3. 20%. There it is. So we are up 103 to 97. We shouldn't have any problems winning this on 35 seconds to go. Come on, let's get this. Let's get this. It's tripping on that steal attempt, though. All right, come on. Come on, Schroeder. Give it up. Oh, I was expecting to pull up there, and he went all the way. All right, 20 seconds. We can hold. No need to shoot until the final seconds. Murray breaking down defenders. We're getting that double team. Oh, use the screen. There we go. We're wide open now. 8 seconds on the clock. Let's kick it. Allen is wide open. Oh, let's fade away in the corner for that 3. 20%. We splash that as well. 0 seconds on the clock. That is game over. We win that one. Let's have a look at what these rewards look like. Keep in mind, this isn't the Blitz event. These are not the grindable events. These are just ones that you play through to unlock that Blitz event. So we earn ourselves that 75 overall gold Steph Curry to level up, of course. And we'll also earn ourselves, looks like 3 tourney and 1 Black Friday tokens. So that's great. And we've got a couple more events there. Now, if we go back to the Steph Curry sets, how many do we need in that first upgrade? We need 50. So we're slowly working our way there. Let's go back to the campaign using that back button. Take on former Sonic Ray Allen in this All-Star matchup as well. Going to be more black court action, I imagine, black top action. Bit of street ball, though it's just regular NBA rules. It's just using the outdoor courts, which is nice. We don't really get to use them all that often in the game this season. Well, there we go. Ray Allen kicks things off with that corner 3. We have a 4-point margin. I think at this stage, what I'm going to do, because there's still 2 more of these challenges to work through. Oh, no, the hiccups now as well. As there's still 2 more of these challenges to work through, and it's not necessarily that exciting to watch me play 4 straight 5-on-5 matchups to get through to that Blitz event. I'm just going to cut through to when I'm finishing that final challenge, and then we'll be able to jump into that Blitz event and show you what that looks like. So I will be back in a split second for you. It will take a little bit longer for me. Okay, we have just finished that final tournament challenge. So we've worked our way through that Seattle Pacific tournament. It did take a while, as I expected, so definitely happy to skip that. So I'm not necessarily wasting your time as you're watching the video looking for the best possible information. You can see that that is the final award there for completing the that specific tournament, and then we can work our way through to the Blitz event. I will need to re-up my stamina real quick, so let me do that. So we have enough to get through this. All right, so for 50 stamina, show off your dunk moves to earn a tournament blitz pack. Tournament blitz packs contain between 2 and 6 20 tokens. Looks like that is for the later blitz packs, as it says here, 2 to 6 for the Brooklyn Blitz, but the Kazar Blitz looks like it's only 2 to 4. But we'll play through it. We'll rip through that pack and we'll find out exactly what it is. Although if it's a random amount each time, it might be a little bit hard to determine unless we get very lucky first up. But we can play through it. Maybe we'll do it twice. It's not a long event, and just see what sort of what number of blitz tokens we get. So there's our first win. Let's go and look at that first win pack. So it does clearly say 2 to 4 20 tokens in this one. We earn ourselves 2 20 tokens there, and how many tokens in the first win? Another 2. Fantastic. Let's play it again, and you can see that we actually had unlocked the next tournament as there as well, although I'm not sure if the one after that would have unlocked if we completed the next one. As I said, I think that may be time-based. That is something we will have to wait and see for the promo to drop. It's very hard to test time-specific stuff in the beta server, as the times are all whack. Okay, so there is our second playthrough. Can we get lucky and pull more than 2 tokens this time around? Get ourselves 2 again, that's fine. No luck for the video, but I'm hoping maybe that's because you guys are getting all that luck instead as you start to grind out this Harvest promo. So there it is. There is our look at, if we go to the Steph Curry sets, just by playing through that first tournament and that Blitz event a couple of times, we're already, 2/5 of the way there to our elite 80 overall Steph Curry. So that's a very, very solid start, and that didn't take me that long. That was all within 15 minutes, I guess, of gameplay all up. And the other thing that, of course, I haven't touched on yet, but I will show you, is the store. I'll open the bonus pack in this video, but everything else I'm going to save for a pack opening specific video, so make sure to watch out for that as well. If you have been saving those bonus packs as I advised, then this is what you can expect, which is awesome. You're getting an elite token in those. Wow, I wasn't expecting an elite token. I'm not sure if that's me being super lucky or whether that's something you get every time. Let's see if we can get any more info on that. You earn yourselves... Okay, that is clearly not accurate. So that text will be updated for the program as well. That's all right. It's the test server. You got to keep that in mind. So it looks like it's possible to pull an elite token in that bonus pack. So if you've been saving those bonus packs as I advised in some of my earlier vids, then you should have a ton of those to rip through, which will give you a nice little head start on the promo for sure. You of course have your harvest packs here. So I'm going to rip through these. Actually, you know what, let's do one harvest 20 pack. Let's do one of those, and then everything else is in a pack opening specific vid, so keep your eye out for that. Here is the harvest 20 pack. You get a whole bunch of those Steph Curry tokens and some gold players. If you don't need them, chuck them up on the auction house and sell them. As you saw in those sets, this promo is not based on trading in and leveling up players. It's token specific. It's all grinding. Or you can shortcut it by spending in the store, obviously. So those players, if you get them and you don't need them, chuck them up on the auction house, earn yourself some coins from them. And finally, I haven't actually looked in here, but there should theoretically be some legacy events for those of you that did play last season. So they should be there when the promo drops as well. As per usual, just 6 events to give you a little bit of a leg up on the promo. It won't be anything over the top, but it's a nice addition for those that played last season, just as some recognition that you are returning Legacy players, so you can get yourself a little bit more content in the Legacy portion of the campaigns there as well. So that is my overview of the Harvest promo. It looks fantastic. I cannot wait for it to drop so I can get stuck in, and I am particularly excited about Black Friday and Cyber Monday to see what they bring. If you haven't been following me on Twitter, there is going to be a ton of 90 overall players dropping on that weekend, the Friday through the Monday. They're going to be sets. They're going to be completable using tokens. There's a whole list up on my Twitter, so make sure to click that link in the video description below. If you haven't already checked out those tweets, they are there on my Twitter account. I would suggest you follow, that way you don't miss out on any of that information. But of course, if you don't have a Twitter account, that makes it a little bit difficult. There's also my Discord in that description of the video down below. We are well over 500 members now. The community is kicking off so strong. It's awesome. Brian often stops by to drop little spoilers, which is really exciting as well. So if you're watching this, Brian, thank you. I definitely appreciate you doing that. The community is a big fan of you dropping by and interacting with them. It is fantastic. So that is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything that I didn't answer that you wanted to know, or something that I might have glossed over, skipped through too quickly, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Any feedback on how to do these early promo previews is appreciated, because I want to bring you the best information possible. And of course, keep your eyes peeled for that pack opening video to see whether I pull any fire and what is possible to be pulled in those store specific packs. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button.